Have you ever felt stuck, trapped in a job, a relationship, or a situation you can't escape? Jacob knew that feeling. For 20 years he served his uncle Laban, enduring deception and unfairness, longing for the life God promised. Genesis 31 is Jacob's turning point, a story of breaking free, trusting God, and stepping into the unknown. As we explore this chapter, imagine yourself in Jacob's shoes, burdened by the past, uncertain about the future, but desperate for change. We'll see how God's voice cuts through fear, how faith is forged in hard places, and how courage is required to leave comfort for calling. Let's unlock the secrets of Genesis 31 together. Jacob senses a shift in the air. Laban's sons are watching him with growing jealousy, their words laced with suspicion and resentment. The atmosphere that was once familiar now feels tense and uncertain, as if the ground beneath Jacob's feet is shifting. Even Laban, who once welcomed Jacob, now looks at him with a hardened gaze. The warmth is gone, replaced by cold calculation and distrust. Sometimes God allows discomfort to grow in our lives, not to punish us, but to nudge us toward the next chapter He has prepared. When our surroundings become uneasy, it can be a sign that God is stirring us to move, to trust Him for something new. In the midst of this tension and uncertainty, God's voice breaks through the noise. He speaks clearly to Jacob, "Return to the land of your fathers, and I will be with you." It's a call to leave the familiar behind, but also a reassurance that Jacob will not go alone. God's command is more than an instruction. It's a promise of His faithful presence, a reminder that wherever He leads, He also goes with us, guiding and protecting. Jacob doesn't act impulsively. Instead, he calls Rachel and Leah out to the field, away from the watchful eyes of others. There, in the quiet, he opens his heart, sharing the full story: Laban's deceit, God's protection through the years, and now, the unmistakable call to leave. He invites his wives to look beyond the present hardship, to see the bigger picture of God's faithfulness and the new future awaiting them. By including Rachel and Leah in this decision, Jacob models true spiritual leadership. He values their voices, seeks their unity, and together they discern God's direction as a family. Rachel and Leah respond with resolve. They too have felt like outsiders in their own home, treated more as property than as daughters. Their hearts are ready to leave behind the pain of the past and step into the unknown, trusting God's promise. Their united response is a powerful confirmation. This is not just Jacob's journey, but a step of faith for the whole family. Together, they choose to trust God's leading. When God calls you out of your comfort zone, He often confirms it through unity and shared conviction. The journey home begins, not just for Jacob, but for all who walk with him, trusting in God's promise every step of the way. With God's command echoing in his heart and his family's support behind him, Jacob knows it's time to act. The decision isn't easy. He spent years building a life here, but the call to return home is stronger than his fear. Trusting in God's promise, Jacob prepares for a journey that will change everything. He waits for the perfect moment, watching for Laban to leave so their departure can go unnoticed. Quietly, Jacob gathers his wives, children, servants, and all their possessions. The air is thick with tension and anticipation as they pack up their lives, careful not to alert anyone to their plan. This is no small move. Wives, children, servants, and flocks all set out for Canaan, leaving behind years of struggle, memories, and complicated relationships. The caravan stretches across the landscape, a living testament to faith and hope, as they journey toward a new beginning. Every step is a step of faith, away from bondage and toward promise. The path is uncertain, the future unknown, but Jacob leads his family forward, trusting that God will guide them through every hardship and danger. But there's a hidden problem. Rachel, Jacob's beloved wife, secretly steals her father's household idols. In the midst of this leap of faith, she clings to something from her past, risking everything for reasons only she knows. Whether out of superstition, spite, or habit, Rachel brings a piece of the old life into the new journey. The idols are small, but their meaning is heavy, symbols of old loyalties and unresolved ties. Even as we follow God, we can carry hidden baggage, old habits, secret sins, or divided loyalties that weigh us down. Sometimes what we refuse to let go of can threaten the very future we hope for. Rachel's act sets up a coming confrontation, reminding us that what we hide will eventually come to light. Secrets have a way of surfacing, and the choices we make in secret can shape the journey for everyone around us. The family flees, but not all is left behind. As they move toward a new land and a new life, the past follows close behind, waiting to be reckoned with on the road ahead. 3 days later, Laban discovers Jacob's escape. Furious, he gathers his men and pursues Jacob for 7 days, intent on confrontation. But God intervenes, warning Laban in a dream. Do not say anything good or bad to Jacob. God protects his people even when danger is close. Laban catches up and accuses Jacob of theft and betrayal, painting himself as the victim. He demands to know why Jacob left secretly, and, most importantly, why his household gods are missing. Laban's real concern isn't just family, it's control and superstition. Jacob, unaware of Rachel's theft, boldly declares innocence, inviting Laban to search the camp. The stage is set for a tense search, with everything hanging in the balance. God's protection is clear, but hidden sin threatens to unravel everything. Laban searches every tent, but the idols remain hidden. Rachel sits on them, using custom as her cover. Jacob, confident in his innocence, has unknowingly put Rachel's life at risk with his rash vow. The search ends with nothing found. The tension breaks, and Jacob, vindicated, finally confronts Laban. Years of frustration pour out. Jacob recounts his loyalty, Laban's deceit, and God's faithfulness. If God hadn't been with me, you would have sent me away empty, Jacob declares. The power dynamic shifts. Jacob stands free, Laban is silenced. Hidden sin remains, but God's grace covers the family. The confrontation ends, but a new chapter must begin. With accusations finally settled and tensions eased, Laban proposes a solemn covenant, a sacred agreement that will serve as a boundary neither he nor Jacob will cross to harm the other. This moment is not just about resolving a family dispute. It's about establishing trust and ensuring peace for generations to come. Jacob responds by setting up a stone pillar, a visible sign of their pact. The families gather stones together, each person contributing to the heap, symbolizing their shared commitment. They share a meal beside the pillar, turning the agreement into a communal celebration, a meal that seals their promise and brings a sense of unity after years of uncertainty. The heap is given 2 names, Gilead and Mizpah. Gilead means witness heap, and Mizpah means watchtower. These names serve as reminders that this place marks the end of conflict and the beginning of a new chapter of peace, watched over by God himself. Laban's terms are clear and firm. Jacob must never mistreat his daughters or take other wives, and both men swear that neither will cross this boundary to bring harm to the other. The agreement is not just about land, but about respect, protection, and honoring family ties. The pillar stands as a silent witness to their covenant, a lasting reminder of God's protection, the importance of boundaries, and the power of reconciliation after years of struggle. With the covenant made and the past finally put to rest, Laban turns and departs for his homeland. Jacob, now free from old grievances and burdens, watches him go, feeling the weight of the past lift from his shoulders. The journey to God's promise often requires us to set clear boundaries, to let go of old hurts, and to trust in new beginnings. Sometimes peace is found not in holding on, but in knowing when to release and move forward. As Jacob steps into a new beginning, the rising sun marks a future shaped by God's faithfulness, hope, and the courage to embrace what lies ahead. What does Genesis 31 teach us today? First, God uses discomfort to move us toward his promises. Don't ignore the nudge to change. Second, seek unity and wise counsel when making big decisions. Jacob's family moved forward together. Third, deal with hidden baggage. What you carry from your past can threaten your future. Let God search your heart. Fourth, set healthy boundaries. Like Jacob, you can leave the past behind and walk in freedom. God is your defender, your watchtower, and your guide. Thank you for joining this journey through Genesis 31. May Jacob's story inspire you to trust God's timing and step boldly into your own promise. If this message encouraged you, like, comment, and share. Your engagement helps spread God's word. God bless you. See you next time.